Many of Sakura's detractors regularly bring up Sakura's early treatment of Naruto. Swagkage's video certainly brings it up as well.
In the Sasuke retrieval arc, after begging Naruto to bring Sasuke back to the village, completely disregarding how horribly she'd treated him in the past.
Whenever this happens, I immediately think back to Naruto's early days. Perhaps people have forgotten, but Naruto, early on, was an asshole. What's the very first thing we see Naruto doing in Chapter 1? We see him defacing a national monument, and apparently, this sort of behavior is nothing new with him. Then, when he first meets Konohamaru, Naruto does not hesitate to punch a kid smaller and weaker than him in the head. I wonder what those who hate Sakura for hating Naruto think of Naruto hitting a little kid in the head. Of course, like with Sakura hitting Naruto, I consider this slapstick and not meant to be taken seriously, but for some reason, some don't seem to understand this sort of violence isn't meant to be taken seriously. Then Sasuke is introduced, and we learn Naruto is not very fond of him, apparently because Sasuke is popular. Sasuke is just keeping to himself, and Naruto hops up on Sasuke's desk to stare Sasuke down, because Naruto can't just stay put and mind his own business. And he wasn't too pleased to hear Sasuke was in his team either, and he makes it known quite loudly. Thankfully, Iruka puts him in his place. Believe it or not, it gets worse. Sasuke, again, is minding his own business, and Naruto decides to assault him with a rope and tie him up because that's an okay thing to do. He then takes Sasuke's identity and deceives Sakura, nearly getting her to kiss him. I'd be pretty pissed if someone were to do something like that to me, fool me into kissing them, or take my identity and ruin my reputation, which is what Naruto was planning on doing. I don't care that he's an orphan. Sasuke's an orphan too, but even if Sasuke wasn't, Naruto can't be doing this. We call this assault, abduction, and identity theft. And I assume it's not a nice thing to do to someone else here in Konoha. Naruto, I think I'm starting to understand why you might not have been terribly popular early on, and I don't think it was a monster in your belly. His pranking and misdeeds resumed to a degree after this, like antagonizing a room full of ninja, thereby putting his own team at risk. But to be fair, Naruto had a good side to him, sure. And he does outgrow this behavior of his, but this doesn't excuse assaulting and abducting Sasuke, for example. So this brings us to this page, a page for which Sakura gets a considerable amount of hate for. Two things I want to point out. I see many people say Sakura was laughing or mocking Naruto for being an orphan, but I'm of the opinion that that's not what she's doing here. She's wagging her finger at Naruto's behavior and lack of parental guidance. I must ask, at this point, is she unreasonable in her criticism of Naruto's behavior? She's right about Naruto picking fights with Sasuke. Naruto did just that earlier in the very same chapter. Is it unreasonable that Sakura did not think highly of Naruto at this point in the manga? We've seen Naruto's behavior for ourselves, and it's more than worthy of firm criticism. Sakura was justified in blasting Naruto here, so where do people get the idea that Sakura was mean to Naruto? Perhaps early on, but Naruto was a prick early on. Sakura was more than justified to call Naruto out on his behavior. As the series progresses, Naruto and Sakura improve. Naruto stops his prankster ways, and Sakura comes to care deeply for Naruto, and even saves his life a couple of times. Let's go through some examples now, and I'll try to keep it short and brief this time. My last video was a bit longer than I would have liked. Chapter 11. Sakura tackles Naruto to the ground to save him from Zabuza's attack. Chapter 43. Sakura was just about to pull her team out of the Chunin exam for Naruto's sake. Thoughts of Naruto's dream to become Hokage guiding her actions. Chapter 49. Sakura's well-timed and well-executed kunai toss saves Naruto from Orochimaru's throw. She cheers Naruto on in several chapters like 62, 74 and 75 during the fight with Kiba, and 105 where she celebrates Naruto's win against Neji. In chapter 236, Sakura seeks out Tsunade's medical training so Naruto would not go without a medic next time. This after bearing witness to Naruto's injuries after his failed retrieval mission. Chapter 261. Sakura is moved to tears, overcome by worry for Naruto's life and his burden of carrying the fox in his belly. Shortly after, she tries to stop a rampaging Naruto, disregarding her own safety. A foolish gesture, sure, but also one that again shows Sakura cared for Naruto, and it reminds me of another moment earlier in the manga. Chapter 297. Sakura tries to heal Naruto as she suffered an injury of her own. Chapter 443. Sakura was quick to ask if Naruto was okay after Pain's defeat. Chapter 485. She sticks up for Naruto against Sasuke's verbal attack. Chapter 663. Where Sakura goes all out to make sure Naruto stays alive. Naruto's dreams and ambitions driving her efforts forward. I won't say Sakura was always nice to Naruto, because she wasn't, but, in the name of fairness, give credit where credit is due. There are many instances where Sakura was plenty kind to and considerate of Naruto, and whenever someone brings up Sakura's early days, just remind them how nice and considerate of a guy Naruto was early on.